If you look closely, every choice we make seems to trace back to one simple impulse: the search for pleasure and the escape from pain. From chasing career milestones to seeking the perfect relationship, there's this underlying quest for something lasting, a permanent state of happiness. But here's the paradox: every pleasant feeling, no matter how intense, fades. The new job becomes routine, the romantic high softens, even long awaited successes eventually lose their shine. And when that happens, we find ourselves searching again, desperate to hold on to something that can never be permanent. Why are we so vulnerable to this cycle? It begins with ignorance, not in a judgmental sense, but simply not knowing the full picture. We grow up with partial truths from family, culture, and society. Over time, our minds build a kind of comfort zone, a mental box designed to protect us from uncertainty. But the walls of this box are made of fear: fear of losing what we have, fear of the future, fear of change. This fear drives the classic life roller coaster. We chase security, we get it, we enjoy it briefly. It fades, we suffer, and then we start the chase again. Even our stories feed this illusion. Fairy tales and films often end at the wedding, the big win, the moment of time, with that familiar line: "And they lived happily ever after." But real life begins after the credits roll, and we rarely tell that story. Now, desire itself is not the problem. Desire is natural. It's life energy, the force that pushes us to create and connect. The issue is what happens after desire arises. Fear and ignorance harden desire into attachment. The demand that things must go a certain way and stay that way. Imagine wanting a promotion. At first, it motivates you. But if your sense of worth becomes tied to getting it, desire has turned into attachment. And when life doesn't meet that rigid expectation, suffering follows. Our ancestors lived with real, immediate threats. Their survival depended on protecting the cave, their home, food, and tribe. That ancient survival software still runs in us today. Except now, we are living in a world with enough resources and technology to thrive. And yet, we still hoard, fight, and defend as if danger lurks around every corner. This mindset gets passed down, often unconsciously. Society amplifies it through fear-based consumption, buying more than we need because it's a good deal, or relying on complex systems to feel safe. Life becomes cluttered, not just physically, but mentally. So, how do we step out of this cycle? It begins with awareness. Simply watching your mind without rushing to react. Observing the beliefs, the automatic likes and dislikes you have inherited, and asking, are these truly mine, or are they just habits I never questioned? Change is not necessarily a lifelong journey. The shift can happen in a single moment of clear seeing. When you stop clinging and start meeting life as it is. And this is where involvement without attachment becomes powerful. You give your work, your relationships, your passions, your full presence. Not because you are trying to make them permanent, but because you recognize their impermanence. When you love fully while being ready to let go, the emotional highs and lows smooth out. You find stability not in controlling life, but in flowing with it. So, here is a quiet question to end with. Look at the things, people, or roles that define your daily life. Are you holding them with open hands or clenched fists? Because this happiness we keep searching for out there might just be waiting in the space created when we finally let go.